proud but with problems. How Canadians feel about their country. Canada, often seen as a global poster child for peace, multiculturalism, and universal health care, enjoys a reputation that many nations envy. Yet, beneath this veneer of politeness and progress lies a more nuanced reality. Canadians, while holding deep-seated pride for their country, are increasingly grappling with a host of pressing problems that challenge their collective identity and future. It's a complex blend of unwavering patriotism tempered by growing anxieties. A proud nation acutely aware of its imperfections, the enduring sources of pride. At the core of Canadian pride lies a set of values and institutions that have defined the nation for decades. Universal health care is arguably the most cherished, seen not just as a service, but as a fundamental right and a cornerstone of Canadian identity. The belief that everyone, regardless of income, deserves access to quality medical care remains a powerful unifying force. Multiculturalism is another defining characteristic. Unlike the melting pot approach, Canada embraces a mosaic where cultures are encouraged to maintain their distinct identities while contributing to the national fabric. This commitment to diversity, coupled with a reputation for civility and tolerance, fosters a sense of inclusivity that many Canadians value deeply. Beyond these social achievements, the sheer natural beauty of the country, from the Pacific coast to the Atlantic, the vast prairies to the Arctic, evokes a profound sense of awe and belonging. Canada's historical role as a peacekeeper on the global stage, though sometimes debated in its current form, also continues to be a source of national self-esteem. The rising tide of concerns. However, this pride is increasingly tempered by a growing list of frustrations. Perhaps the most pervasive and immediate concern for many Canadians is the affordability crisis. Housing costs, particularly in major urban centers, have skyrocketed to unsustainable levels, making homeownership an impossible dream for many and rental markets fiercely competitive. Compounding this, the rising cost of living, from groceries to gasoline, is squeezing household budgets across the country, leading to widespread financial stress. Paradoxically, healthcare, while a source of pride, is also a major source of anxiety. Long wait times for specialist appointments and surgeries, emergency room overcrowding, and a shortage of family doctors have eroded public confidence. Many feel the system is nearing a breaking point, despite its foundational importance. Reconciliation with Indigenous peoples remains a profound moral and practical challenge. While there's a growing awareness of historical injustices and ongoing systemic issues, the pace of change and the tangible improvements in Indigenous communities are often seen as insufficient. This unaddressed historical trauma continues to be a significant stain on the national conscience. Environmental concerns, particularly climate change, weigh heavily on Canadians, especially in a resource-rich nation grappling with the transition to a greener economy. The balance between economic prosperity derived from resource extraction and the urgent need to address climate change presents a complex and often divisive challenge. Deeper fault lines. Beyond these immediate anxieties, deeper structural issues also contribute to a sense of unease. Regionalism and national unity continue to be a persistent theme. The historical East-West divide, the unique identity and aspirations of Quebec, and growing Western alienation over issues like energy policy and federal spending frequently test the bond of confederation. There are also concerns about Canada's economic outlook, including productivity challenges and a perceived over-reliance on resource extraction rather than innovation. Questions about competitive positioning on the world stage and ensuring future prosperity are increasingly on the minds of Canadians. The Canadian way, pragmatism, and self-reflection. What sets the Canadian response to these problems apart is often a blend of pragmatism, self-awareness, and a distinct lack of jingoistic rhetoric. Unlike some nations, Canadian patriotism is often less about grand declarations and more about a quiet determination to improve and uphold core values. The stereotype of the apologetic Canadian might hint at a national tendency towards self-criticism, but also reflects a willingness to acknowledge shortcomings and work toward solutions. Canadians don't just celebrate their accomplishments, they scrutinize their failures. This often leads to robust public debate, commissions, and policy initiatives aimed at addressing the identified problems. There's an underlying belief that the work of building a better country is a continuous project, never truly finished. Conclusion: Canada's identity is not a static postcard image. It's a dynamic and evolving narrative shaped by the tension between aspiration and reality. Canadians are profoundly proud of their country's values, its natural beauty, and its commitment to social justice. Yet, they are also acutely aware of the pressing challenges, from affordability and healthcare strain to reconciliation and climate change, that demand urgent attention. This dual identity, proud but with problems, defines a contemporary Canadian experience. It's a nation characterized not by blind patriotism, but by a reflective, often self-critical, and ultimately hopeful dedication to living up to its own ideals. The path forward for Canada will be defined by its ability to harness this distinct blend of pride and pragmatism to tackle its challenges head-on, ensuring that the next generation Canadians can also feel truly proud of the country they call home.